ẹ̀kọ́ African College of Traditional Medicine. Ibẹ̀ ló ti láǹfààní láti ní ìmọ̀ nínú ohun gbogbo tá à ń fi tewétegbò ṣe.
Ẹ̀kọ́ ìgbẹ̀bí àti iṣẹ́ abẹ nílànà tìbílẹ̀ àti bí a ṣe lè pìrìsáàfù àwọn àgbo wa tí kò ní bàjẹ́ títí di àkókò tá a bá fẹ́. Táwa náà sì lè máa tà á. Ilé ẹ̀kọ́ yìí gbàṣẹ gbòǹtẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìwé ẹ̀rí mọ́ jẹ́mi ìṣó lọ́dọ̀ ìjọba. Ètò ìgbaniwọlé ń lọ lọ́wọ́. 2,500 naira lówó fọ́ọ̀mù.
African College of
Good morning, viewers. You are welcome to this edition of My Time, My Era on Nstv. Yes, your online television. The program, My Time, Our Time, is that program that takes us to where we are coming from. That's our history, and then use that to guide against where we should be going to. In other words, we use our past to build our future and correct our mistake. My past, my time, our era. That's the program. So once again, you are welcome. And of course, your usual anchor host this morning, Dele, Ayodo. I welcome you all once again. This morning, we have an August visitor, so to say. Yes, this is the month of August. He was a two-term member of the Federal House of Representatives, having represented Abeokuta Central or Abeokuta Federal Constituency, or Abeokuta South. It is called Abeokuta Federal Constituency. Join me to welcome Honorable Segun Williams. You are welcome, sir.
It's a pleasure.
All right. Yes, the focus on My Time, Our Era this morning is actually on the legislative arm of government. What is the strength of the legislative arm of government on our democracy? In recent times, that arm of government remains one of the most bashed by Nigerians elected. Even after electing their representatives, they still go ahead to publicly express their dissatisfaction on so many issues. A common language now, which I think is not good for us, is the word they use, rubber stamp, as part of the duty of the legislator. What that means, how that operates, what the effects on the legislator themselves, Honorable Williams will explain this to us, having spent some time as a member of that hallowed house. Honorable Williams, first let's start from the ground. How did you take that decision to contest to be a member of the House of Representatives? How and maybe why did you take that decision?
Thank you, Mr. Dele Ayodo, the anchor of this program. I welcome our listeners all over. Once again, parliamentary practice. My name is Honorable Segun Williams, 2 times member, Federal House of Reps, Abuja, Nigeria. Well, there's this aphorism that says that every human being is a political animal. My decision to contest elections is born out of this very saying. All the while, I've had in me, the instance in me, the instance of of togetherness, membership and leadership. Back home during my school secondary days, I was a school prefect. My HSC days, I was in the school. At the university, I was by Nigeria. And even when I was in National Assembly, I was the first bona fide, popularly elected first chairman of the Assembly Legislative Forum, which comprises 36 states and federal capital. I won elections in Abuja. So it has been a meet. The legislation has been a meet. It's like in this thing. I've always contested elections and won elections, and coupled with the fact that I've seen what it is to be in the position of service, particularly when you're visionary, when you have things to deliver. This and others spurred me to wanting to come back and contest elections so that I can deliver professionally and professionally benefits of democracy, or what God has put within me to deliver to my various constituents.
Okay, why that decision was taken? You were successful, God granted, and you became. Did the expectation that you had, you went with to the house? Can you say you were satisfied what you had in mind? Was that what you saw?
Yes. there was a division, a kind of gap between my aspirations, ambitions, and the practicality I met on ground. When I got elected, I was thinking that I will singularly promote, sponsor a bill, and get people to rally around me on a particular issue. But I now discovered that if you have an idea which you want to propose in the bill, and that idea is pro masses and anti intellectuals, anti the bourgeoisie, it will not fly. Because the assembly itself is composed of variety and shades of opinion. People who are pro bourgeoisie, people who are pro proletariat. We have sons and daughters of emirs, of obas, of governors, of their presidents who are there, who naturally would serve the interest of their sponsors. And here we who are from the downtrodden, who want to represent the masses. Let me give you an instance. I approached a her member, then I told her that, look, I want to sponsor a bill to check abuses, male abuses on our female teenagers. I discovered in my constituency that more 2, 3, 4 people who are coming to meet me for assistance are young ladies in their teens who are carrying babies. How comes they got impregnated? You have a husband, he has a husband. A man of 22 years, 23 years, is having three wives, keeps one in the different quarters, it's pregnant like that. So, because there's no law protecting our young ones, our female ones, so should there be a law that does that now, that to check the excesses of these individuals who just go about wandering and do what they like? And then after discussing it with the female said it will not fly. Why wouldn't it fly? He said because some cultures and some ethics, some cultures, some traditions, and some religions permit it. So, but my eyes were folded. And that person, that family member, happens to be a senior colleague within the parliament. So she told me what she said. It will not fly because there are people here who believe in that, whose tradition
It is normal.
support
There's
it,
nothing wrong.
who support it, people whose religion support it, who's going to support it. So it will not fly. So on that note, I came to realization that if you have an idea, the things I came up with are not necessarily what eventually would happen. So there's a division between your ambition, which you came with, and what you stand to achieve when you're there.
Take us through how it works. There are 360 members
Yes, please.
in the House of Representatives, and each person is coming with his own baggage. That's something from different constituency. You may come from one state. It does not even matter sometimes. The differences in constituency, even with the state, is important. So, how do you settle down? How do you come to study to understand the workings of the House, one, and then the thinking of the members? I know you people use the word lobby most times, but how do you now learn that lobby within 4 years?
Yes, when you are elected to the parliament, irrespective of your background, be it an engineer, medical, or whatever it is, or artisan, or even illiterate, as once you are elected, and the power now resides on you. Now, when we get to the chambers, there's what we call the house rules, standing rules. These rules are like a constitution, not for the country, but for the guardians, for the operations of the house. It defines what is to be done, how it's to be done, when it's to be done, and what should not be done. How to talk, when to talk, and when not to talk. So it defines the totality of the operations of the house. So these ones are a guide which they give to members. They go to their respective offices and digest. And most of these members too must have been watching programs, watching TVs to be seeing what has been transpiring in different assemblies, or maybe in their own state assemblies. For instance, it's common knowledge that even in private meetings, when they want to have the majority opinion, they said those who are in support say ayes have it, nays have it. It's a common thing. You don't have to be in parliament to know this. CDS operate it, unions operate it, union operate it. So it's a common thing. So the world has come to learn the language of approvals and disapprovals through nays and yes and nays. So these are some of the things. So with this pre-knowledge, when they come to the chambers, it's not anything to them to say I support or I don't support. Now the rules are there to guide you on what I want to do, and by the time you attend plenary sessions for about a week or two, you might not just necessarily speak. Maybe for the first 1 month, 2 months, you might be there as an observer, observing how it's been done. Let the old ones conduct themselves. When they speak, when they shut them down, allow them speak, how they speak, the procedure before they speak, how they've been nominated, how they've been recognized by the speaker to speak. All these things are what you watch for the first 4 months before you have the phone to say, okay, now I want them to join the mainstream. So these are part of the things which I think members do know and do before, so as to get acquainted with the system in Parliament.
All right, if you are just joining us, this is the program My Time, our era on Nstv, and our guest this morning is a legislator, having been in the Federal House of Representatives on 2 different occasions, 7th and 8th Assembly. Honorable Samuel Olusegun Williams, the member who represented Abeokuta Federal constituency on that this morning, is a legislator, having been in the Federal House of Representatives on 2 different occasions, 7th and 8th Assembly. Honorable Samuel Olusegun Williams, the member who represented Abeokuta Federal constituency on that occasion. Honorable Williams, I observe, and many other people do have spoken about it, that here in the south or southwest, let me use my state, Ogun State, for instance, as an example, we have this practice of saying that the seat should not be hereditary. 1 or 2 term maximum, you leave this place and let another person come in so that it can go around. But I observe and notice that it appears that that's not the style in the north. In the north, we have people who have come and come and come and come and come, comparing to the southwest in particular. Which one is better? What advantage is that? How does that impact on the legislative quality of the house itself and the individual?
Mr. Uncle, you have asked 2 questions simultaneously and combined. One, is this a true it is a norm or general belief that you cannot come 2 times or 3 times, 4 times repeatedly in the southwest. Take Lagos State, for instance. There are members in Lagos State who are running their 60th term now. I don't want to mention names. But
Lagos, we always say, is a different.
But Lagos is
a different state.
Geographically part of the southwest.
Yes, it is.
Yes, if it is, then Lagos is a case in point. We are as long as they deliver, as long as the constituents vote for them, as long as they win the primaries, whichever way the primaries won, they won primaries and they are elected. Simple. So it is not general norm in the southwest that we don't believe in this now. Yes, there might be little variations in some states. For instance, the state you happen to come from is incidentally the state I come from. Yes, it was the belief by some that yes, you cannot come more than 2 times or whatever it is now, but 2 occurrences has broken this jinx. In the Senatorial West, the West Senatorial District,
the late,
yes, there is a candidate who is still serving now, who is on his 4th time now. I will not mention names. He's serving his 4th time now.
From Federal Constitution.
Very good. He's serving his 4th time now. Even in the central, there's a candidate there now who is serving his 3rd term. By whatever means, he's serving his 3rd term there, and I do not see any law, any reason why some of them will not go beyond their 3rd term to 4 times. So it's such a general assumption.
The man from Ewekoro,
very good. Very good. Even South, the man from Owode, he's serving his 3rd time there. So I would not want to agree or align with people who think that yes, it's the general belief that we do come continent. No, it's just it has just happened in the past, and it can still happen. It may not happen again. So there's no hard and fast rule that yes, when you come from soup place, you cannot serve 1 or 2 times. It all depends on time and chance. That is that now. However, having said that, the advantage of repeated occurrences coming to the assembly is very enormous, because everything you do again, you learn more on it. You might stumble and wobble until you get there. In fact, this is saying that yes, if you don't give up anything, you learn better. To have come to the house 2, 3 times, 4 times gives legislature better experience, better posture, better learning of the system. Because there's no system on this earth that you can learn with the short deck. The more you stay on it, the more you know about it. There's nothing on earth that you learn and you learn. Like, you want to keep learning, you keep studying, you keep knowing more about it now. So it's going to be advantageous for the system and for the country to have members, returning members, who are old in the system, who know the rudiments, who not just come and start learning all over again. It pays the government, it makes it cheaper for them, makes it faster for them, and makes it, the laws it makes, more qualitative and more people-oriented. If you have members who have served repeatedly, who have the experience, the knowledge and everything about the parliamentary practice in an art of lawmaking.
Now, because this program idea is to look at our past, to build our today, and be ready for our tomorrow, I'm going to also ask you this. Are you satisfied? Because we have so many voices who say the legislature...
sorry if I may find you. I just come in. I just want to derive the example from just the last topic we just talked about, from different climes. If you look at the Americans, where the democracy is really practiced and where we drew our democracy from, in there, the immediate past speaker, what was she called?
Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi is about 80-something years now, and she's been in the parliament for over 50 years. Robert Kennedy, who died some years ago, who was called the Lion of the Senate, was in the Senate for over 50 years. So that tells you that yes, the more you're there, the better you are, and better for the system.
All right, so to my question on using our past to build, to be ready for today and build tomorrow, there are a lot of voices out there who believe that the legislative arm of government have not measured up enough to the commitment the Nigerian government has given it. What's your opinion on that? That's where they come with the use of the word rubber stamp, and they generally say they are not satisfied with what the legislative arm is producing for them. What's your position on that?
Yes, I will not differ completely from the opinion which most of our constituents back home have concerning the operations of the legislature, because we are part and parcel of them and they are part and parcel of us. Some of them are better materials than even we who are in the National Assembly, but by chance and listen, we are there. So some of them know the system, some of them have read the system, but some of them have been there and outside now, so we know everything before us.
You've seen the two sides.
You've seen two sides. Now, yes, people are right to say that yes, they are not getting the much they bargain for from legislature. By the very nature of legislature, by the very nature of our emergence into legislature, by the very nature of our emergence in the relationship of the House, naturally there will be subservience and loyalty to some particular causes. And if you are loyal to somebody who was instrumental to your being there, then you must have to do his biddings. If, for instance, a governor is instrumental to your coming to National Assembly, he financed your elections, did everything for you, and got you there, he might even influence your getting a better position there. Now, how do you want to divorce your interests from your sponsor interest? It's not possible. So whatever you do there can be termed rubber stamp as long as you are doing the sponsor's bidding. If you are the speaker's candidate and you have a direct opinion with the speaker, and the speaker is somebody else's candidate, naturally, the bad person's candidate will transform the speaker and will then transfer you. The totality of the whole people must do is what is the speaker's bidding. I'll just give you an example of the bill I wanted to sponsor. As someone said, you are in the minority. You sponsor this bill, it will not fly. Don't just sponsor it at all. Don't waste time, money in Britain. Because majority of people who I know here are not in support. And if you try to support you now, they shut you down. It will not fly. So the issue of rubber stamping comes from the very process by which people get enthroned, people get elected, people get nominated to positions because of subservience or loyalty to a particular cause before they get there. So it's like they have their hands are tied. Now, when people talk of rubber stamping, if a Senate president or a speaker or the police officers are members of a political party and who want to repeatedly come back to the legislature, and who's coming the first time was predicated on the loyalty. Was predicated on the loyalty of particular individuals. Naturally, for the want of coming back to the legislature, for the want of coming back to the legislature, they would want to pacify, do the billings of what? Of their principals. So and they want to do bidding with their political party. The political party says this is what you want. They are spellbound and they are held as to do what? To do the wish and aspirations of the political party, if even it is not too democratic or anti-democratic. We've seen cases where this is what a party wants, this is and this is what masses want. That is why parties have different manifestos. A party with a different manifesto, some party with a different manifesto. The Republicans have their manifesto. They said Democrats in America, they're too soft for the Americans. They're too soft for the people. They say no, the Democrats because are hard on people. So it depends on which divide you find yourself. But by and large, rubber stamping is not a thing peculiar to our legislature. It's a thing that when the process gives birth to, as long as people get elected, as long as people are instrumental to you getting elected, you must do the biddings of people who got you get elected, whether the biddings are right or not. So you have to do what? Rubber stamp what and when they think is in their own best interest, not in your own best interest. But that is not to say that the assembly itself is total rubber stamping. There are periods when they stand their grounds because the power of democracy itself resides in the legislature. There are moments, in fact, many moments that they stand their grounds. If you compare in percentage-wise, the powers the legislature expressed, rubber stamping a thing might not be minus community, but just be 10% of what actually happens there. But majority of the legislature, they exercise their power, use their power to do their bidding well than them. I can show you that our legislature, particularly are doing well. They've done well in the past, but that is not to say that there's no little or minor
overstamping. All right, yes, it's still My Time, Our Era on Nstv. And this morning our focus is on the legislative arm of government, its strength on our democracy. If the telephone line, because there will be opportunity for you to be a part of it, you can call in to ask my guest this morning, Honorable Shegun Williams, a two-term member of the Federal House of Representatives. Your own question from all you have heard. In case the numbers are not on your screen, take your pen and paper and write it down. It's 090-160-97. Oh, are we already getting the calls? All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning.
Hello?
Good morning. We can hear you clearly. Just tell us your name and fire your question.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Morning.
Hello?
We can hear you. Just tell us your name, where you are calling from. Hello, we can hear you. We can hear you. Good morning.
Hello.
All right. You can try again. Call that number is already on your screen. Call the number my guest who is here. We are looking at the legislative arm of government, very important, very key arm in a democracy. We are looking at its strength on our democracy. Honorable Segun Williams, you just talk about the the open assignment or mandate given to the legislator from his constituency, and usually we have this. Hello, morning. Yes, we can hear you. Good morning. Nstv, you are right.
Yeah, my name is Ayodo.
All right, Ayodo.
I'm calling from Kwara State, Jare, the Ghana local government.
Thank you, Ayodo. Kwara in Kwara. Yes. Okay.
My question is, does this see this current administration, this current National Assembly that is accountable to the Nigerian citizens, judging by the fact that the vote leadership, the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Senate leader, Senate President rather, are the making of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. All of us witnessed the intricacies that came up before they were elected at the National Assembly. We all knew that both the Senate President Akpabio and the man from Kaduna, Speaker, were the making of the presidency. Does he see them, does he see the being accountable to Nigeria? That's my question.
All right, thank you very much, the man from Kwara. We've got your question. Thank you. Honorable, let me just rephrase, not exactly the way he has said it. And that will be likened to mine or question. It's almost similar. He says, what do you expect from the current leadership or the current National Assembly based on the fact that we've been made to believe that the leadership of the House, both the Speaker, Honorable Tajudeen Abbas, and the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, were nominees or favors of Mr. President? Do you think they will, what do you think they will be doing to Nigerians or to demand the executive arm of government? And my question, similar to that, is this: because when you talk about mandate, it is believed that you got your mandate from your constituents. Those who voted you in are actually the ones who gave you the mandate. But the reality is that you also got your mandate from your party. And often we talk about party supremacy when many of you are together in that kind of congregation. How do you separate it? Which one should come first? What should be the expectation of those you are speaking for, you are representing, which is similar to what the man from Kwara just wants to know?
Well, thank you very much. The emergence of the Assembly leadership 2023 has been a subject of debate, discourse in political circles.
Is it new first?
It's not new.
Is it the first time it's happening?
It's not the first time. However, I cannot vouch and stand my ground that these candidates are the president's candidates. I don't have that evidence. But I do know that they are the party's candidates. And if they're the party's candidates, then the parties must ensure that, yes, they fill in whoever they think, irrespective of whether he does the what, constitutional responsibility or not.
No.
That one becomes immaterial.
The constituency responsibility
Becomes immaterial.
is the one that is
Immaterial now. But the constitutional responsibility, no, the constitutional responsibility becomes immaterial.
immaterial. The
Constitutional
constituency
responsibility becomes
material.
material for them. But as far as I'm concerned, what did you bring home? We sent you there. What did you bring home? The laws, we're going to make good laws, fine laws. Is it fine laws we're going to eat? Are we eating fine laws? Are we eating infrastructure? Are we eating good laws? Judiciary reform, parliamentary reform, reforms. Is that what bring food on our tables? In the constituency, in the village where you're elected? So we elected you. Our son is there. Bring back what is going to put food on our tables. That is where the issue of parties, feasting, bad day party, funeral ceremony. That's where it comes in. And if you do that, you are at the risk of what, losing your chance.
All right, so that we won't be at the risk of any penalty. We appreciate you, Honorable Samuel Olusegun Williams, our guest on the program My Time, our era on NSTV this morning, and our attention, our focus has been on the legislative arm of government, its strength on our democracy. I appreciate everybody, from the engineer to the camera to those who came with Honorable Williams who made this possible. And of course, all of you who were out there viewing it. Yeah, I know there were inches over the telephone lines, but for those who were able to call in and get through, I thank you. Dele Ayodo is my name. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Have a nice day.